Hi guys, I welcome you all in my today's video. In today's video, we will talk about how the things fly and swim. You must have seen something heavier components or machines that used to fly in air and also swim in water. So you must be wondered while seeing these things why these things flies and swim while we the human being we are not able to fly or swim. If you don't know the swimming, if you will go inside the water, you will not able to swim. Even we are not without using any external objects, we are not able to fly in the air. So today in today's video, I will discuss how the things fly and swim and what is the engineering phenomena behind this. So first we'll talk about in what medium the things fly and swim. So the medium we see either it is liquid, that means water, or it is air. So liquid or water commonly it is called fluid. So something that is swimming or flying, that is happening inside the fluid. But the basic difference between air and water is that air is the fluid of lighter molecules, means low density, and the water is considered to be the fluid of higher density. The air has the density of 1 kg per meter cube and the water has the density of 1000 kg per meter cube. So why the things flies in air? So the first reason why the things fly in air is that if any component has lesser density than the air, it will fly, or if any component has lesser density than the water, it will swim in the water. Something like, as for example, suppose you are fill the balloon with hydrogen gas, what it will fly in the air, it will go up and up. But as same thing, if you fill it with oxygen, the molecular weight of the oxygen, the density of the oxygen is more than the air, so it will not fly in the air, it will come down. If you keep it freely, it will come down at the surface of the earth. In the same way, if you keep something in water medium that has lower density than the water medium, what will happen? It will come up and it will start swimming. Suppose wood is considered to be the lesser density than the water. So what will, if we keep it inside the water, it will come up. But you can ask the wood can swim in a water, but can it fly in air? No. If you compare the density of the wood as compared to the air, the density of the wood is more than the density of the air, so it will not fly in the air. So the first concept that we came to know, any object that has the lesser density than its medium in which it has to flow, or it has to swim, or it has to fly. If it will have lesser density than the medium, what this object will fly or it will swim. Why it happens? Because if something has to fly or something has to swim, it has to apply the force against the gravity. So if the density of the things of the object is lesser than the density of the medium, the it doesn't so the buoyancy force that applies on that object is more than the force that happens because of the gravitational force. So because of this, the things flies in air or swim in water. uh, if we'll talk about something in air, since the density of the air is very less, so buoyancy factor doesn't come inside the air. But if it's something talk about the something inside the water, since the density of the water is more, so there is one buoyancy factors come. So what is the buoyancy effect? What is the effect of buoyancy? Because of that something swim in the water. So the buoyancy is that it is the principle by which any object applies the upward force exactly same to the moment displaced by the amount of the fluid or water displaced by that object and the weight of that displaced water, the upward force applied to that object. So if the upward force, buoyancy force is more than the gravitational force, the things will come at the top of the water and it will start swimming. And if the gravitational force of the object more than the buoyancy force, what will happen? It will come down. So along with the density, another factor has come for swimming is that it should have some more buoyancy force than its gravitational force. See, object, so let me clarify you again. The object that will swim inside the water, if the object has the lower density than the water density, or the buoyancy force that is applying on that object is more than its gravitational force. As for example, if we take the wood has lower density than the water, so it obviously it will swim nicely inside the water because it has lower density. And so we see the boat in older days were made of wood, but now in current days we see the ship, heavy ship, these are made of some metals. Metal have higher density than the water, so you can say that, sir, the metal have higher density than the water, but why the ship swim and it doesn't sink inside the water? So the buoyancy factor will come inside the picture, that in the ship the water displaced by the surface of the bottom of the ship is more than the water, the weight of the water displaced by the bottom of the ship is more than the gravitational pull of the object. And this is the reason why the positive buoyancy force act on the object and it come up at the surface and it start swimming. But because the density of the water is more than the air, and so the buoyancy effect come into picture in water medium, but in air medium it doesn't come into the picture. Then the question arises, sir, the density, lower density than the air, that will fly. But if suppose something which have the higher density or the something which has more weight than the air, how these things flies? So these things flies is based upon the Bernoulli's equation. This is based upon the pressure difference. So you must have seen the helicopter, the drone, the aeroplane that flies inside the air. It all has higher density, or it all has more weight than the air, and it all flies in the air because there is some pressure difference, and these pressure difference are created by supplying the high amount of fluid over its wings or its blades. So suppose we have something blade like this in the this is called the aerofoil nature of the aeroplane. So you must have seen this, the aerofoil nature of the aeroplane. So what happens because of the aerofoil nature of the aeroplane, when the fluid flows around the wings, what happens because of the shape of the wings, the upper part of the wings has negative pressure, and the lower part of the wings has the positive pressures. So there is pressure difference between upper part and lower part, and because of that it gets some lift. If the lift force is more than the gravitational force of the object will get flies in the air. In the same way, what will happen, the blade of the helicopter that rotates inside the air, and so the upper part of the wings has negative pressure and lower part of the wings has positive pressure, and because of the pressure difference it feels some lift force. So something which is flying in the air should have the lift force more than the gravitational force. If something has the lift force more than the gravitational force, then that object will fly in the air. As you can see here in this picture, suppose there is aeroplane and it is flying in the air. So lift force will act in upward direction, and gravitational force will act, because of the weight of the object, will act in downward direction. So if the lift force that is acting on this object is more than the gravitational force, this object will fly in air. And for moving it upward, we have propeller over here. It take it forward to this aeroplane against the drag force. So guys, just briefly I should summarize the things what we studied today, that how the things will fly or swim. The things which are flying or swimming, it has some medium. That medium either could be air and water. Air has lower density fluid medium, and water has high density fluid medium. So the if the any object which has lower density than its fluid medium, it will try to come up, and it will fly, or it will swim, or whatever you can say in your language. It will come up to the it will try to go up because of the density difference. But in some cases there is no density is more density than this medium. So in that case, how the things swims? Because of the buoyancy effect. What is buoyancy effect? According to buoyancy principle, any object that is sink partially or fully inside the water, it displaces some water. And it whatever the weight of water it displaces because of its volume, the same weight of the force applied upward direction. So because of this upward direction force, it tries to come up against its gravitational effect, and so the object which displaces the more weight of water than its gravitational force, it will come up and it starts swimming. And in case of flying object in the air, there should be some pressure difference. If the pressure difference will exist, this object will feel some lift force, and if the lift force is more than its gravitational force, the object will try to lift in the air, and it will fly. So this is the reason, this is the concept behind flying of the object and swimming of the object. So if you have any doubt, if you have any questions regarding this, you please comment below. I will try to make it more clarified with some realistic examples in coming videos. If you will comment below. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks.